Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims info/thoughts video. So we've got some more Get Famous to talk about, as well as a fairly interesting leak regarding the Sims Mobile. So first off, we did have the live stream that focused on Del Sol Valley and the build buy objects coming with Get Famous as well. And it was a pretty entertaining stream. Simguru Romeo and Simguru Morgan were back, but they were also joined by John, who's the art director on The Sims 4, and it was pretty interesting for me to see him because I actually did meet him the first couple of times that I was invited to Sims Camp, and we talked a lot about the new worlds in some of the newer packs like City Living and Cats and Dogs, and it was just really fun talking about all the little details that he put into these worlds. So yeah, it was really cool to actually see him on camera in a live stream. A good example of this was when John was here pointing out the elevation changes with the curbs here in Mirage Park. So yeah, I love hearing about those sorts of things that they put into these new worlds and how they do try to make it as realistic as they can, with it not being like exactly the same as the world that it's inspired from. Another good example is with the water features that you see in Starlight Boulevard, because you have kind of like the idea of the same architect designing both the stuff around the museum as well as in the rest of the neighborhood. So the water feature actually has a bit of continuity when you see it across the street from the museum in the park. On a similar note, Simguru Romeo also addressed why they put so many cars in this world, and it's because they did not want to handicap themselves from simulating this kind of story where you have a bustling city. Even though they can't comment on whether cars will actually be coming to the game for real, they still wanted to kind of tell this story. It was pretty interesting when they showed off the new build buy objects too, and there you can see a child playing with the pond, and definitely the pond is one of my favorite gameplay objects in this expansion pack. It is almost like a new way to have pets of sorts. Even though we already have the fish bowls and aquariums, you can't really do much with the fish, but here you can have a few different kinds of fish that you can't already have, and you can feed them, you can make them do tricks for you, and all that good stuff. And towards the end of the stream, they also did show someone drowning, so there's a whole lot of things that you can do with this pond, and I can't wait to just place this around the worlds in my game. One interesting little detail that Morgan mentioned is that although you're not able to stock the ponds with exactly the fish that you have in your inventory with the piranhas, that is an option to stock the ponds with. But if your sim does have piranhas in their inventory, then they can stock the pond with those, and then you can actually stock the pond with piranhas for free that way. She also mentioned a very dark detail as well, because if your sim does get eaten by the sharks in the pond, then after the sim is dead, then the sharks are considered to have been fed for a while. I also like that they added glowing railings, stairs, and fences too, so it can just really give off this glamorous feel, but also reminds me of futuristic settings, so I don't know if we'll ever be getting those. I also really love the mid-century themed objects. I know Spring Sims is really gonna love them, and me as well. Mid-century is definitely one of my favorite themes in regards to objects in The Sims, so I'm really glad that we're getting even more of them, because you may remember Bowling Night stuff had a mid-century theme, but that was a stuff pack, so we didn't get too many objects that were mid-century themed, but now we're getting even more with this expansion pack. So in that way, those two packs will go really well together. I also do want to give a shout out to that record player, because oh my gosh, I always feel like we're so lacking with stereos, and whenever I'm playing off camera, I love having the similar soundtrack just going off in the background. So good that we'll have another one of those, even though it is kind of like a more old-fashioned one rather than a really modern stereo, but still, I'm really glad that we have another option. And on a related note, just as a reminder, we are getting the hip-hop station finally with this expansion pack, so there will be new music to play on that record player too. And I find it really interesting that they have a pre-built room that's meant to be a home theater. And they were saying that, yeah, it's because celebrities tend to have like their own private theaters in their homes, and I have seen that sort of thing before. So yeah, it's kind of neat that we have that. And yeah, that is a new TV actually, and there's a really interesting rug object too. There's just so many different variations with that one object. You'd think it would just be kind of like, oh, it's same sort of style for all the swatches, but no, you have like the pathways, you have the giant void critter posters and all that stuff. It's just like, whoa. I'm pretty impressed with these objects. I didn't really see too many of them before, but yeah, it actually does make me like this expansion pack more. Oh yes, and right here they were actually talking about how these are meant to be like soundproof walls, so another nice little detail that they thought of when adding this new content in Get Famous. They also showed off one gameplay object that I had no idea about, and this is the Crystal Crown. It's shaped like a helmet, and what it does is that you can insert crystals into it, either ones that you buy from the computer or ones that you find out in the world, and you can use the helmet to get rid of quirks or have other powers like increasing your job performance. And apparently when you hover over the crystals in your inventory now, it will tell you what effect it is supposed to have when it's put into this crown. They also talked about one drawback with this object where if you wear this out in public, since it does look a little bit ridiculous, other Sims will make fun of you. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, there is an object with seagulls on them, because yeah, there's that mural in the background. It has a few different swatches, but clearly the best one is the one with the Sim and the seagulls flying in the background, so that was pretty cool to see. There's also a pretty funny object description for one of the new doors in Get Famous that Simgrew Morgan wrote, and she calls it the Star Knob Slat Door. And it goes, ooh, who lives in a mansion in Del Sol Valley? Star Knob Slat Door. Diagonal and wooden and fancy is he? Star Knob Slat Door. Yeah, great job, Morgan. You're just finding more and more ways to become one of my favorite sim gurus very quickly. It only took about 2 decades, but we finally got a SpongeBob SquarePants reference in The Sims. But the best part of the stream was definitely right after the end. I was just about to close Twitch, and then I suddenly hear some audio hissing. It's like, what's that? And then the sim gurus come back on camera, and they do the whole baby shark thing. It was so funny, it had me dying, and I just had to make a GIF out of that, so there it is. I'll accept that my career in social media has led up to 2 moments. Interviewing Simguru Graham in the ball pit in Sims Camp, and making a GIF out of the baby shark act that Simgurus were doing. Yep. That's what I get for doing this for 5 years. It's awesome, and I would not trade it for anything else. There's also a new blog post that went up today. They've just been putting out these blog posts like crazy lately, but this one focuses on 5 different places that you can visit within the Starlight Boulevard neighborhood, so I will leave a link to that in the video description below if you want to check that out. But we also gotta talk about The Sims Mobile, because it looks like the first details for a Winterfest event have leaked. And this comes from Sims Community and Ginge That Sims, who managed to get the patch notes off of Google Play before they were taken down. So they say, hey players, Parkside, Market Square, Downtown, and Waterfront have gotten a festive makeover just in time for Winterfest. In the coming weeks, you can get a head start with a pre-holiday quest, participate in Winterfest to celebrate the season and earn holiday rewards, plus during this time your Sims can go ice skating. Check back soon for more details. Thanks for playing. And this already sounds really cool to me. I actually really like the Halloween event. It's probably my favorite Sims Mobile event so far. But ice skating? I think for that alone, that might already top Halloween for me. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this event is going to play like. So hopefully there will be very similar prizes, like in terms of how they're offered up, where you have like the more freedom of choice, where it's not so linear. There's like some linear prizes, but then most of them you can actually choose on your own with currency. Yeah, hopefully it'll be like that. And that wraps up another Sims info/thoughts video, so feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below on all the stuff with the Get Famous live stream and the blog post, as well as the leak with the Sims Mobile. Yeah, usually stuff for the Sims Mobile doesn't really leak too often, but yeah, maybe they can just get some flex tape and fix everything. I mean, if you can saw a boat in half and fix a boat solely with flex tape, then I'm sure they can just plug up their leaks with that. It'll be fine. But be sure to leave a like or a comment or even subscribe, because it lets me know that you like my channel, my videos, and it helps you keep up to date with my latest content from The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.